Rumi lovingly reminds us that the wound is a place where the light enters you. Healing starts with the permission to compassionately experience pain without judgment and the intention of letting it go, mitigating suffering. Healing is a commitment of care we steadfastly sustain, not just for ourselves, but also for our ancestors, our descendants, and the collective, while we sojourn this sacred space we call Earth, held lovingly for us by the Mother.
8, 8, 8. BYCGP is now 8. In a fast-paced, metric-driven, hustle-glorified culture, BYCGP was created to help individuals and businesses cut through the noise and access valuable guidance and tools needed for a more conscious lifestyle and purposeful connections. BYCGP was established in, by, and for love, founded with a vision to impact, impart, and influence to live this human experience with purposive presence and curious compassion with intention and grace. On May 6, 2023, BYCGP turned 8. 8 is a feminine energy, and some of its significations include benevolence, compassion, infinity, inner vitality, manifestation, security, and transformation. What a blessing to see my professional practice, a minority-owned micro-business, evolve from image and personal brand consulting, an egocentric self-developmental lifestyle approach, to what it is now, a conscious realization of a heart-centered life, compassionate soul nourishment, and guidance to intentionally sojourn back home to wholeness. The core of the business turned inward, innately flowing outward. Ever since its inception on May 6, 2015, I've envisioned BYCGP to be more people-centric proliferation versus profit-driven growth. This humanity-focused framework as a business model is unconventionally liberating, whilst also sustainably challenging in a capitalist socioeconomic system. It's vital to build collaborative relationships with those who truly respect my work, deliberately upholding the salience of well-being, integrating my services to aid in its actualization. It's a bonus when there's shared values between entities. There's a privileged understanding of a multifold investment. When they invest in their wellness, be it individually or collectively, they're investing in me, my micro business, and funding another being access to be well who may be of limited or zero resources. As an advisor, I help live with an open heart via contemplative practice, trauma-informed, compassionate, supportive care, astrology, and rest, while guiding fellow beings back home to wholeness and interconnectedness. This is my work. Imagine a person hemorrhaging profusely, experiencing what seemed to be complications from cancer surgery several days prior. As this person, covered in blood, lay inside an ambulance en route to the emergency room, was preoccupied on their mobile phones, still trying to do work-related things, as death lurks around. Note that this person was on medical leave. Sadly, it's a tragic illustration of someone so entangled with the system, suffering from identifying self-worth through work, materialism, etc. That was me on a Sunday evening, November 23rd, 2014. I get it. I live that life of constant churning and grinding up to the point of literal death. When you found yourself immersed at the edge of transitioning from this human experience, you get to taste the stupendously palatable benevolence of grace. You awaken to the profundity offered by this life, this invitation to fully live and realize the sacred gift of embodying what it is to be human. Hi, I'm CGP, Mindfulness, Life, and Astrological Advisor. As a former NYC advertising executive producer privileged to shepherd remarkably awe-inspiring, brilliant groups of people hailing from around the globe, I exceedingly value the impact of transmitting guidance to aid in forging and propelling one's trajectory. Close to 3 decades of diverse experience in varying fields, numerous notable opportunities to lead individuals and teams. As an Asian American woman in a constantly doing, highly pressured, metric-driven society, I've experienced having to exert more than the average to have an impact in the workplace. Fully aware of our respective influence on this planet, I deliberately show up in the world daily to audaciously exemplify compassionate engagement, emanating a heart-centric effect on humanity, Mother Earth, the global economy, and the collective's expanse and perennial proliferation. With an integrative practice using variegated energetic healing modalities, I'm intentional in harmoniously employing the precepts of mindfulness, contemplative awareness, trauma-informed compassionate supportive care, heart-centered living, ancient astrology, and rest. Pivotal to my process then and now is looking at the big picture, partaking from inception to completion, often all the way through continuance, ensuring optimal participation in the full human experience unique to each soul's sojourn. Author, psychologist, and wisdom teacher Tara Brach lovingly reminds us, when there's well-being, there's more service, there's more creativity, there's more engagement. Pivotal to remaining mission-focused and sustaining impactful engagement in a continuum within our relationships, families, communities, alliances, companies, organizations, and the marketplace is prioritizing self-nourishment. What have you implemented individually and or collectively to cultivate intentional, integrative wellness? How will you uphold the intentionality of embodying enduring ubiquitous well-being? One of my offerings to living with intention and grace is compassionate nurturing care. It's a targeted trauma-informed support integrating immersive self-compassionate care and experiential restorative practices imbued with healing presence, initiating the journey with a reflective review of a particular life area that's of highest concern. An optional tool is to integrate astrological insight to zoom in on present and prominent trauma markers on your natal chart and any activated configurations to aid in the path to well-being. One of my offerings to living with intention and grace is pause for trip. Practice, presence, play. Purposefully pausing to experience aliveness in the moment while creating space for childlike wonder, witnessing awe in being, facilitating flow, and making allowance for joy and creativity. As needed, astrological insight may be integrated to zoom in on present and prominent markers on the native's natal chart and any activated configurations to aid in the path to well-being. One of my offerings to living with intention and grace is conscious leadership mentoring. It's intentional guidance in navigating the marketplace to proficiently exemplify one's prominent proclivities, lead from a heart-centric outlook and effect enduringly impactful, inspired actions grounded in compassionate contemplative practices. It's mentorship through cultivation of purposive, soulful mastery, aiding in embodying your best to energize mindful collaboration, creative engagement, and solicitous communication to actualize an abidingly awe-inspiring impetus. It's a joyful delight to show up with intention imbued with inspiration, supplemented by integrating astrological insights. It's an optional tool to zoom in on your natal chart to further realize your soul's innate propensities and actualize meaningful pathways and ignite imaginative inceptions. One of my offerings to living with intention and grace is astrological guidance. a life area-specific consultation facilitated with intuitive, compassionate awareness. It's a deep dive into activated configurations and prominent markers on the native's natal chart to foster conscious engagement, embodying a fully lived human experience. One of my offerings to living with intention and grace is intentional inspiration and interaction. Through speaking events, wellness talks and workshops, roundtables, podcasts, etc. For a limited time, I'm giving away several spots for 2 free 30-minute virtual sessions. Please email for details. These past few years accentuated our breath is a precious gift, a resource. Life is fragile and temporal. It admonishes us to live fully. Now continues to invite us to be present. None of us are guaranteed tomorrow. As I deeply immerse myself in the service to humanity, the wider my heart opens, witnessing its salient potency and tenderness, daily feeling, seeing the urgency to be a healing solve, a compassionate fellow sojourner, to walk with you back to wholeness. Generosity heals. Acts of loving kindness and conscious compassion have the best return on investment. We emanate the world we want to create, lasting for generations. Let's plant a revolutionary forest of open-hearted beings. We have a choice to show up for each other and be intentional in expressing the salience of our commitment to our common values, our shared humanity through conscious benevolence. GalingBYCGP is a donor-funded initiative of humanitarian expression, forging equity while fortifying equanimity. It's dedicated to serving those who have less or no access to being well through fully sponsored, compassionate, guided care. BYCGP Bits. It's an invitation to pause for pithy, deep listening practice, creating a compassionate space for reflective resonance, initiating inspired action. Available here in YouTube and in all BYCGP socials. Pause for supplement. Integrating rhythms of reflection to cultivate a contemplative practice to nourish the soul in microdose short form. Available via YouTube at True Warrior in Lipstick by CGP. Life offers moments of awe. Slow down. Take a beat. Live with childlike wonder. Play. Play by CGP tunes are all straight from my heart and soul. Rhythms arise when I'm in flow and I pause and surrender to capture these playful vibes as creative juices pour out. New tunes are released every weekend and available on YouTube at True Warrior in Lipstick by CGP. Inner work is a ceaselessly intentional practice of healing in our passage back home to wholeness. Guiding fellow beings in deliberately navigating this human experience is one of the most pivotal facets as a well-being advisor. It's an honor to promulgate compassionate, trauma-informed care while cultivating a contemplative and nurturing lifestyle, heartening intentionality in showing up daily to actualize their best self. It's truly humbling to be entrusted with this exquisite privilege. Beautiful soul, may I be of service to support your healing journey, coming home to wholeness.